known for their violent and merciless attacks, including shooting already dead staff, customers, children, all killed during these robberies. Some of the victims were tortured before being killed. But a photo has surfaced showing a guy holding a shotgun in a forest, and they're saying, we believe this is one of the guys. Anybody know who he is?
He's probably an American cop.
I mean, the only I thought that at first, but he looks like he's in the wilderness and not on the streets standing over a black guy, so I just assumed it wasn't a cop in America. But fuck, that came off my tongue too easily. So it's a vital lead in the case. They have it listed as. So we're really hoping
how old are these violent criminals? The dude's probably like 90 now.
Well, the three men who were never identified became known by nicknames as the Giant, the Killer, and the Old Man. So I'm going to assume that the old man is long dead.
That sounds like a terrible sitcom.
It kind of does, doesn't it? The Giant, the Killer, and the Old Man.
Or the worst children's book you've ever read.
James and the Giant, the Killer.
James and the Giant, the Killer, and the Old Man.
So there's that. So good luck, Belgium. Hope you find it.
I hope you catch them or whatever you're doing.
One of the places that they hit by when they're doing this was a fucking supermarket.
Well,
that's just what.
Apparently, it wasn't so super.
No. I'm just trying to figure out, why would you rob a supermarket? How many people actually pay cash at supermarkets?
In Belgium, I have no idea.
Yeah, you'd think that people would still be using other forms, but
I know in America, debit's fucking virtually unheard of. So I don't know about Belgium. But...
Yeah, no, they don't use debit. Everything is credit cards in the U.S. Do their credit card or cash.
So I don't know. Maybe the euro is different or whatever. I don't know. I'd rob a supermarket.
I always like the idea of robbing a restaurant. I always thought that was a great idea.
Yeah, it's not bad too.
Yeah. But very few people go out to sit down at a restaurant and bring a gun with them, so I think you're pretty safe.
Oh, it depends where you are.
Yeah.
If you're in America, everybody's packing.
That's true. Just don't go to Chicago to a Popeyes and try to rob it.
Don't go anywhere in America right now. It's the Venezuela of our fine continent right now.
No, it's a fucking shit show.
Hey, speaking of which, not to get too far off topic, but hey, everyone who's kneeling on their friends' necks and taking pictures, can you stop it? It's really disrespectful.
Oh my! Why? What the fuck is the matter with people?
I don't know.
Like, if any of our listeners either has done that, whether you took a photo of it or not, and you're just doing it joking with your buddies, if you've done that, please contact us. We just want to know your mindset. We want to know what your thought process was. And how often do you have to get kicked by a fucking cow before you get used to it, become that fucking retarded? Just want to know. Little things I want to know.
Just saying. Maybe stop it. Maybe think it out before you do that. Some guy just got fired from FedEx for doing that.
Yeah, well, they were standing in front of a group of protesters that were going by them on the street, and there's a group of them all standing there armed with their big signs saying basically "fuck Black Lives Matter," and that's two of the guys were reenacting that, standing there just kneeling on the guy and holding up a fucking shotgun. And when it came viral, one of the guys involved in it was an employee of FedEx. FedEx like, yep, nope, fuck you, you're fired.
Yeah, ironic that they fired him overnight.
Quickest thing they've ever done. Yes. Well played, sir. I'm sure, Eric, you've heard by now about the Trans Mountain pipeline that spilled some crude oil.
Allegedly.
1,195 barrels of light crude spilled from its pipeline.
Yeah.
They say that the cause appears to be related to a fitting on a 2.5 centimeter piece of pipe. They say they caused it, as it stands right now.
Well, you should have let us work on it. That would have been fixed by now.
See, and this is the whole thing, because the Sumas First Nation where this happened, this is the fourth time in 15 years there's been an oil spill from the pipeline on their land.
Yeah.
So doesn't this just stay straight out? They need the new pipeline?
Yeah, it's not going to get any better. It's 50 years old. They deteriorate over time. Now, first of all, I'd say it's just us trying to keep up with Russia. And we didn't even come close.
No, not even.
Theirs is getting much, much worse, by the way. What was I saying? Yeah, no, the thing's 50 years old. That's why we went in to replace it anyway. Well, not replace it, but fix it and twin it. This is only going to get worse because we can't do anything about it. So I don't know. Be careful what you wish for.
All you protesters, you're the reason this happened. You are responsible for this. 100%. You are responsible for this. So hang your head fucking high, you dumb pricks, because you're the reason this all fucking happened.
I said a year ago that the best thing for the environment is fix this goddamn pipeline. Yep. If you really care about the environment, let this work go through, and it will get better.
Yeah. But fix it, update it, get it all good and ready, and set the proper standards. And no, let's protest it, and then bitch every time something goes wrong.
Yeah, these people don't actually care about anything except disrupting our lives.
And the one thing I will say, though, the pipeline moves about 300,000 barrels of crude a day.
Yeah. So
and 1,195 barrels.
That's literally nothing.
That is like a drop. And on top of that, the way it all spilled was on very firm, solid ground. So they were able to get within the first 12 hours, they were already able to clean up almost the bulk of the surface stuff. So it's like, and they're able to clean it up pretty quickly considering where it hit. So,
yeah, no, 1,000 barrels is like picture a barrel, right? Now picture 1,000 of those. Yeah. Now, when you look at oil spills around the world, that's practically not even a news story, really.
Yeah,
I don't think it's a good thing by any means, but it's really nothing. And like Gort said, it's, this is what you wish for. You wanted us not to fix the pipeline. This is what you get.
Yep. You asked for it. Y'all want, this is what you guys want. You want this to happen. So congratulations. It's yours. Enjoy the mess.
Way to win.
You remember the Canadian Air Force they grounded all the Cyclone choppers after that one went down in the water and killed everybody on board?
I think I do. Sorry, I saw a funny thing. Yes, of course I do.
April 29th, killing 6 military members. What had ended up happening, as they found out, was that there was a software system that happened on it where it had basically malfunctioned and had, instead of the helicopter sort of slowing down, which is what it was doing, it had all of a sudden just cranked up the speed to a super high speed and jarred everything over and sent them over into the water and killed everybody.
Yeah. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, the pilot and people on board, they didn't know how to deal with this because they didn't know this would ever happen, and so the Air Force is returning the Cyclone choppers into service, and they're going to be training their pilots on a bunch of different variations on if this part of the software were to go down, here's how you fix it, and if this were to happen, this is what you do. So you're going to give them better training.
I think this is where my problem with mechanization comes in and computerizing everything. Some things are just better run by humans. You know what I mean? I want to be on the helicopter that the human's running, that he feels it. You know, it becomes an extension of yourself, like a really good truck driver or any really good pilot or like boat captain or whatever. It becomes an extension of themselves. Computers can't do that. And like a really good helicopter pilot would be like, oh, this is a weird feeling. Maybe we should land. But a computer's just like, nah, I'm just going to go fucking crazy and not explain anything to anybody and just fucking crash. I don't want it's like some things just shouldn't be computerized. And this is clearly one of them, especially in Canada. We don't know. Our military's got bad enough luck. The last thing we need is to bring in fucking computers.
I mean, our own helicopters are friendly fire killing ourselves.
And somehow the Iranians got those black boxes too. That's weird.
So my favorite statement about this whole thing is saying that it was an unavoidable accident, but we know how to fix it, and we know it's now completely avoidable. Well, that means it wasn't.
Yeah,
it wasn't an unavoidable
accident. Back and think it out before you say it, Commander. It's totally unavoidable, but we looked it through, and now it's avoidable.
So, first of all, you mentioned about computers.
There's no such thing as an unavoidable accident, idiots.
No, there isn't. You mentioned about how certain things shouldn't be computerized. Literally, they're saying here that it means that the helicopter software did not recognize the pilot's instructions and chose to ignore them.
Yeah.
That's not good.
This is what I'm saying.
That is so not good. But there is one person, the commander of the 1st Canadian Air Division, Lieutenant General Alan Pelletier, I guess. He is the sole person responsible for putting these things back into action, which means if anything were to go wrong from this point on, it lands on his head. And he openly states that too.
That's all well and good, but people still die. Like, make sure, like, there should be don't rely on your autopilot. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly.
Autopilots are not reliable. Get your pilots flying your shit. No, it's like those meatheads last year, the 2 pilots, they were on autopilot and they were flying to Scotland and they landed in Germany.
Yeah.
Now, luckily, like, they landed safely. Nothing happened. Just a whole bunch of pissed off Scottish people trying to get home. But again, it's just autopilot's not reliable. Computers aren't reliable. You're in a very tiny little hydrogen bomb, basically, with a propeller on it. Maybe you want to not rely on computer technology that we don't completely understand yet. Like, I know we're all eager to get there, but it's not maybe.
Or can't fucking fix while you're in flight.
You know, that's why I say, like, I like my 12-year-old computers because all the bugs are worked out by that point, you know? I don't want the hottest, newest technology because it never fucking works. Nothing ever works. You know, like, Netflix sucked when it first came out. And, like, you know, flat screen TVs were a pain in the ass. You couldn't see, you know, like, the technology takes years to develop before we figure out what the fuck we're doing. So I don't ever want to get into anything new. Like, oh, this is the newest helicopter. I'll be like, no, I want one. Come back in 5 years and I'll get in.
Good, keep it. I don't want your new one.
We're not smart enough yet. We'll get there, but we can't rush into it and stop letting our soldiers die for our inability to be patient and figure shit out before we use it. At least that's what bankrupts NASA, but very few deaths come out of NASA because of it. They sit on shit for like 20 years and test it and test it and test it and test it. And we all think, oh, that's so stupid. Why do they need to test it so much? This is why.
Yep. Did you know what happens when they rush it? Remember that fucking shuttle that blew up?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That was just a rush to get a woman into space. How'd that work out for you, losers?
Never made it. They killed her before she got there.
You know, people got to think about their decisions a little better. Nobody thinks them through.
You know,
Like hypothetically,
It's
if
funny you mentioned that because